Do you need to make graphics for your creative business? Today I'm going to share with you how to use the software Canva.com to make the graphics that you need. I'm Amanda, I'm a web designer, and I help creative entrepreneurs like you to get your creative genius out into the world. I make videos 3 times a week, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, so hit the subscribe button so you'll be notified when I create new content. Canva is one of my favorites. I actually was very opposed to using it at first because as a graphic and web designer, I thought, well, this isn't Adobe. It's not Illustrator, it's not Photoshop, so how can this be good? But there are a lot of things that I do really love about it, and I actually end up using it about half of the time. With Canva, I really enjoy being able to create graphics pretty quickly. I enjoy that I can use a template to create something that's well branded, but that is also unique. And I like that the cost is pretty low. So if these all sound good to you, let's dive into the tutorial and I'll show you kind of the ins and outs of how to use it. All right, so what you'll want to do is you'll want to go to canva.com and you'll want to sign up if it's your first time going to Canva, if you've never created an account before. Now, I signed up for Canva for work. It is $12.95, I think, per month. It's not too expensive, but I think that it gives you some extra little bells and whistles that you can take advantage of that are not available with the free version. But I did have a friend tell me a little hack, and she told me that she signed up for the free trial and she was able to actually add in her 3 favorite colors for her brand, and she was able to add in a font for her brand and keep those things when she canceled the free trial. So if you are wanting to be well branded, that is something that you might consider, actually upgrading to Canva for work so that you can keep your branded stuff inside of Canva, or you could try the free trial and try her little hack. So I'm going to log in here really quickly. Now, when you first log in, you're going to see the things that you've recently created here, and you're going to have a little navigation bar to the left. So here we are in the brand section, and as you can see, you can add things like your color palettes, your logos, your fonts, so you can set your fonts to be the header, subheader, and body text, and you can also upload some premium fonts here that you have purchased. So personally, I have my brand colors all here, and then I have a couple of colors for another brand that I work with often. And you can just add the colors by hitting the plus sign, and you can just paste in the hex code here. So if you know that, you can paste that in, and you can move this around to find a color, whatever it is that you might like here. Or you can X out by clicking little X. If you hover over them, you can select the one that you want and grab that code to use it elsewhere. Here with the logos, all you have to do is upload a PNG file from your computer and add it there, so that way you can use it in your graphics. And then over here, like I said, you can just come to this little pencil and you can choose what you want for whatever font that you are working with here. You can set the font size, you can say if you want it to be bold or italic, you can do all of those things so that it's just automatically set and you don't have to think about it every time. To upload a font, you have to just hit this button here where it says upload font. Make sure that you have the right license to be able to upload that, and you can upload it here and then you can use it throughout your creations that you make. So now we're going to go back to all your designs, and what I can do is I can click on more to see some of the templates that have been created by Canva, and I can just grab something here if I want, or I can go up to this up here and use custom dimensions. So if I'm creating something for my website, for instance, I can set the width and I can set the height to the exact pixels that I want, and that way I have freedom to be able to create whatever it is that I want. So the great thing about Canva that I really love for my clients especially is that you can just come in here and grab a template that's already made and kind of make it into your own. So let's say you're going to make a Pinterest graphic, which also is going to be the template that you're going to use for your featured image on your blog. You would just come here to Pinterest graphic, and it already is set to the correct size or one of the better sizes that you could use for Pinterest. Maybe you might want to make it a little bit longer, or you might want to do something a little bit different. Just depends on your blog. But you can go ahead and just click on a template over here, and if you scroll through, you'll see the free ones. You'll see the ones that are paid. It says by, if you look in the little right hand corner. So then you can come in and you can do things like you can select the font that you want to use. So right here, this is using playlist script. Well, if that's not what I want to use, I can come over here and switch it to my font that I want to use. And then I can highlight this and select a different font again. So I would just go through and I would change all of these to be the correct font. I would think about the specific colors that I want the font to be, and then you can go in and you can change it to be your own wording and all of that. So let's say I want this font to be Lato, right? And I'm going to change this one down here to be Lato as well. So once I've gone through, there are some other things that I can do. So I can select this and I can change the size here. So that makes it really easy. Let's say I want to move this up to 64. And then let's say on this one where it says beauty blog, if I want to fix the spacing, I can do it here just by coming in, and I can make the spacing just a little bit further apart. So I'm going to set that to 350. Let's see, what else can I do here? I'm going to make maybe this word italics, like that. So you can come in and you can make some small adjustments to the text. And there's also things like center align or left align. So if you want it to be to the center, to the left, you can change those things here. You can make something all caps by hitting this button. So let's say down here, I want this to be all caps. I can just hit that and it will change to all caps. I kind of like it the way that it was though. So I'm going to switch that back. So then what I can do is I can change this background. So right now it's set to a photo that just was a part of the template, but I'm going to go over here and you can either upload photos here, or you can go through and search their images as well. So I'm going to look here for a photo perhaps that I have that I would like to put in the background. So something like that. Here, you just come over here and you can either upload your own or you can search there. So to upload, you just hit this right here and you find it on your desktop, or you can just drag and drop it into this section, which I often do. If you wanted to find photos already available, click on the elements, and then in here you can search through. So if you want people, for instance, you would just select people, and then you can search through for some free photos. So let's say I want it to be this photo. So I'm going to drag that over. And once you drag it over the whole thing, it'll start to show up. And if I want to, I can double click like that to be able to move this. So let's say I want her to be maybe more in the center. Then I hit the check mark and she'll be there more in the center. So it's just depending on where you want this to kind of fall in the picture. So if I want it to fall there instead, then I would just move it back like that. This actually has like a filter on top. So basically what they've done here is they've reduced the brightness and the contrast, so you can adjust that here. So if I want it to be brighter, I can adjust that so I could have it look a little bit different than it does with the standard template. I can change the contrast as well. I can come down here to advanced options and give it like a tint if I wanted. So if there's a color that you tend to use often, then you can kind of make it look more like the color that you use. So this allows you to do quite a bit with the picture that you have. You can even select one of these filters here at the top. So let's say I wanted it to be more of the Nordic, then I can do that. So let's see, I'm gonna go back to normal, and then I really did like this to be this other color with the brightness around here and the contrast a little less contrasty. All right, so there you have it. I've switched that to kind of make it look more how I want it to look. So something else that you might want to do is you might want to add your logo here somewhere. So I'm going to go to uploads, and there is a little place if you've uploaded your logo that you can get them again to add them to your thing that you just created. So here's my logo, and I can just drag it in here, and if you drag it, you'll start to see some guides show up where you can see where it's centered, and you can even sometimes see some guides so that you know where it is in terms of the other things on this document. So I guess I kind of like it there. I could do a lot more with this, but I just wanted you to see the basic gist of this. Now, if I want to save it, you can come up here and you can change the name. So I usually like to say the name of the blog post. So 10-step Korean routine products. So I would just type it all out here, so that way it's saved as a part of the file. So something like that, and hit done. And then I would download, and I would download it probably as a JPEG or a PNG. Now, if you needed to save something as a PDF, like you're going to do a freebie or something like that, you can also save it as a PDF. But for your blog, you wouldn't want to save it as a JPEG or a PNG. I usually just leave it as PNG. So I would just hit download here, and it would download to my computer, and then I can upload to WordPress or wherever I need to use it. All right, so let's say that I wanted to create just a little graphic to go inside of my website, and I'm just going to make it custom dimensions. So I'm going to do 500 by 500. I'm going to hit design, and then I'm just going to make like a little button or something like that. So I would go down to elements, and I would choose a shape. And let's say I want it to be like a circular shape like this, and I want it to be kind of, let's say, this color, and then I want this one to be this color. So you can just easily select those by clicking on them up here. If you have a color that you want to add, you can just hit this little button right here. So I like those colors, and now basically all I want to do is add some text. So I'm going to go to text, and then as you can see, you can just click on these things that you've already pre-selected, or there are some layouts here. So I could just click on a layout and it would add it, and then I can add in my text that I need. So I'm going to change the color to be more of my branded gray rather than that really stark black. And then I would just change this to say, click to download or something like that. And then here, if I want this, I can keep it here, or I can ungroup. So these ones over here, they usually are saved in a group, but if I want to ungroup it, I just click on that, and then now I can select these individually. Throw that in the trash can, and I can throw that in the trash can, and then you see it just says click to download. Maybe I don't really want that color font. Maybe I want it to be more this color, and I might want to make this a little bit larger. Whoops, that's too large. Maybe I can make the box a little bit bigger, but let's make this like 42. So there you go. It's a like really quick and easy button. But when I want to download this, I do want to make sure that I hit the transparent background so that I don't have this white here that would show up, which if you were to put that on a white page, it wouldn't matter. But if you were to put it over some sort of colored background, that white would show up. and you might not want that to be there. So I just always, if it's a button or something, I save it with a transparent background. So you would just hit download and then you have a quick and easy button. There are a lot of other things that you can do. You can add a background to things. You can choose a pre-selected layout if you're going to do a photo, so you can kind of make like a photo collage. There's just a lot of things that you can do within Canva, and I just encourage you to come in and to just kind of explore and figure out whatever it is that you want to create and start pressing buttons, and don't be afraid that you're going to break anything, because they make it really easy in Canva to start a new project, or you can just add a new page. You can duplicate what you're doing here, so that maybe if you like this one but you want to do a different one, you can come down here. Maybe you can look here and see what it looks like with a different font. So I could come in and I can see what it looks like with this font and change things around, and then I can see what things look like comparatively by switching back and forth, and I can decide which thing that I like better. So Canva just has a lot of things that you can do that make it really easy to use. It's super user friendly and it's really affordable, so I totally recommend it. That wraps up the tutorial today. I hope you enjoyed using Canva, and I can't wait to hear how it went for you. In the comment section below, let me know what you use to create the graphics for your business. Do you use Canva or do you use something else? Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you'll be notified when I create new content, and don't forget to stay creative.